Well, guys, this is something I was not expecting to talk about. Even though I love Star Wars, I was not expecting to talk about this because, in all honesty, I swear I thought I did a review on it. I swear I thought I did a review on it. I did. Um, Revenge of the Sith. 25 years later. Wow. It is something that is I don't even have the words, in all honesty. I really don't have the words because I and I'm pretty sure so many people have already seen Revenge of the Sith, so I'm not going to try to go too much into the story. If you guys don't know the recap, obviously this is how Anakin became Darth Vader. Um, Tail end of the Clone Wars, Palpatine gets captured by Dooku, Grievous, Anakin, Obi-Wan meet Grievous. Same thing with Dooku. Anakin defeats Dooku, and then Anakin finds out Padme's pregnant. He freaks out. He's trying to get on the console so he can become a master, so he can go to restricted files, so he can find a way to save her because he's having nightmares. Same thing he did about his mom, and he goes to everyone. Nobody's wanting to listen other than supposedly Palpatine. Then it gets revealed Palpatine is Sith Lord. He tries to go to the Jedi for help. They don't. They sideline him again, and then when he sees what's going on, he firmly believes that the Jedi are, of course, may become the enemy. And when he thinks that the Jedi is going to do the right thing, they don't. And that's when he saves Palpatine, aka Darth Sidious, and he has no choice but to bow down and now be the new apprentice to Darth Sidious, which he becomes Darth Vader. He kills all the Jedi along with all the clones during Order 66, and he loses Padme. He loses Obi-Wan as a brother. He loses everything, his limbs, and then he becomes Darth Vader. That's pretty much it. Um, I remember seeing this movie when I was a kid in '05. I was so I was amazed. I was upset. I was thrilled to see all these different things in this film. It was crazy. And I remember so many people were upset with seeing Anakin turn, even though we knew it was coming. And the way George Lucas did it was absolutely amazing. And again, people can give Hayden Christensen all the crap in the world. But again, that is what George wanted him to do because he again, so many people are like, oh my god, he did so wrong. It's like, you guys need to realize what this man went through. Like I've had to listen to other YouTube, Star Wars YouTubers, books, videos, and I had to rethink about this. It's like, you got to think, if you're in Anakin's shoes and you were a slave and you meet this, you know, this order that you just idolize so much, and they're gonna take you, to do all these wondrous things, and you lose your mom. You have to leave her, and then when you try to find her again, she's gone because they denied you to try to go help her. Then you have to be a certain way within the order you joined. And after losing a father figure, then gaining the second that would be the one that was going to teach you, like a brother slash friend to teach you. That ain't enough to give you that attention because you were a slave. You were all these things happen to you. You miss your mother. You meet your crush, the love of your life, when you're young, and you see her again. And you have to protect her, and then you got to control your feelings and all these things. And then unfortunately, things happen between you and her, and then you fall in love. You get married. You go through all this war, and you're having to keep it a secret, and then she gets pregnant, and you're like, oh my god, what am I going to do? And you start having nightmares of your wife dying. It's like, what are you going to do? You are going to be freaked out. And that's what he went through. Yes, he made bad decisions, but this man, literally, you got to think, from a man's perspective, was he selfish? Yes, but he was also scared. He was scared of losing his wife, and he lost her anyway. And that's what happened. If between all the stuff we saw in here, all the scenes, it was amazing to me. It was amazing now as an adult, as a grown man seeing this, when Sidious tells him the tragedy of Darth Plagueis. I love that scene. When the March on the Jedi Temple, I love that scene. I want to see what happened in that Jedi Temple. I know a lot of people do, regardless of what happens. Just destroying all the Jedi. Anybody wants to see that. Every Star Wars fan wants to see that, in my opinion. They cut out all the major parts. Obviously, the whole, Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do? And then just, what's going to happen. And then same thing with all the Jedi getting eradicated all over the galaxy. Or the hopeful fight that we wanted to see between Anakin and Mace Windu. Because we all knew Mace Windu was a dick. We all knew this. Because the way he treated Anakin. And then they put him on the council, and he's not even a master. And that's another thing. You deliberately held this man back. He was the so-called chosen one. You held him back during training. You give him an apprentice, and she calls him master. He gets called master, but he's not even a master, and you put him on the console, and you won't recognize him as a master. So it's like, again, what did you expect was going to happen? And then seeing Obi-Wan, being such distraught of having to fight his friend, his brother, his apprentice, and say, you were my brother, I loved you. And then we got to see that reunion several years later in Obi-Wan, which could have been better, but that scene of when he says, I'm sorry for all of it, that scene still gets me, because that is something I want to see during this movie. The effects of this movie was outstanding. It is still, Revenge of the Sith, I'm going to say this now, is better than all of the sequels combined. I'm going to say that now. And if you agree or disagree, that is fine. That is my take. I don't care what anyone says. That is my take. Seeing the duel between Dooku and Anakin, that was awesome. Seeing more of that in Clone Wars, that was awesome. Grievous, I used to really like Grievous. I was like, why is he coughing all the time? Then, obviously with Clone Wars, we knew because Mace Windu, force choked his chest, and we, saw about that. I was like, okay. The clones, Yoda with the Wookiees, seeing all the Wookiees on Kashyyyk, that was amazing. When Anakin's just eradicating all the Separatists on Mustafar, because of everything from, what happened with Padme, them trying to kill her several times, to, Ahsoka within the story. Same thing with Obi-Wan losing all the other Jedi, and Anakin having to be through all this. It was a lot. I've seen so many people try to say, well, this movie was this. It's like, who was that one? Mark Walsh that decided to make an ass out of himself, like he apparently normally does in his videos. Just try to destroy this movie. He wasn't even paying attention. Like, you could tell by the way he was talking about it, he wasn't even paying attention. And it's like, bro, you don't even like Star Wars, so why'd you go watch it? Oh, yeah, because your kids made you. So it's like, you don't have a right to talk about this unless you've seen all the movies. So shut the hell up. I plan on doing more reviews on the other movies here soon, but I wanted to talk about Revenge of the Sith, because 20 years, man. 20 years, Hayden and Ewan and all these people, oh my gosh, man, they got a lot of hate for these films. They did. They got a lot of hate. They didn't deserve it. I remember seeing Natalie Portman in Phantom Menace when I was a kid. I thought she was gorgeous. Still think she is. Some of the dialogue in this film could have been a little bit better. I will admit that. One of the best lightsaber scenes, obviously, is between Anakin and Obi-Wan. Then, of course, obviously the music in here was phenomenal. When Obi-Wan and Anakin are fighting, you like da 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 da, or like when he's doing the martial arts temple, like dun, 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 and it's just like you like as soon as I do that, I get like the hair on my skin stands up because I remember hearing that in the theater, and just I'm like, and I'm sitting back in my seat and I'm going, oh damn, like here we go, and it's just that type of feeling, and I haven't had a feeling like that in a long time, and I think if you have not seen Revenge of the Sith, I've heard people say that's their favorite movie. Their favorite Star Wars movie, that is. That's fine. I love Revenge of the Sith. It could have been better on some parts, but again, it was written the way it was written. But again, it's better than the sequels in my opinion. But regardless of this or that, this is gonna go in the hallway of legends. This was the conclusion, technically, before Clone Wars came out for George, and then after Clone Wars and all that, that's when other things started moving into the fold for Star Wars. But seeing Darth Vader be born, dude, oh my gosh, that was crazy. Seeing him literally be born. Whether you say when he had to kneel down to Sidious or on that table or anything. Finding out all the things in the books. To all the stuff that I've learned from Star Wars Theory to Stupendous Wave to all those guys. So shout out to them. I would not probably know as much Star Wars as I do without them, without that information. So thank you to them both again. I'm happy to be a Star Wars fan. There's times I'm ashamed to be a Star Wars fan. But I am not ashamed to say that I saw Revenge of the Sith when I was a kid. And that I still like Revenge of the Sith. So, happy 20th birthday to Revenge of the Sith. Or, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But, guys, what did you think of Revenge of the Sith? Probably not the best review in my opinion, but we had a long line of good actors too, man. We had Hayden Christensen, we had Ewan McGregor, we had Ian McDiarmid, we had Natalie Portman, we had Jimmy Smith, we had the late Christopher Lee. We had so many, man. Oh my gosh. So, let me know what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed. And I may drop this on the 19th from when it was released, because that's going to be the 20-year mark. I thought it was earlier than that, but it's not. I'm looking forward. I may just watch it on the day of release. I don't know yet. But what'd you guys think of this film? Does it still hold up for you? Is it better now than it was then? Or was it better then than it is now? So let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you as always on the next one.